And away we go. It is the Nightcap, brought to you by Galactic Fried Chicken right here on BearcatJournal.com, www.galacticfriedchicken.com. Go to the website, get the app, go to the app. They will deliver right to your front door pretty much anywhere inside the 275 loop, or head down to Dayton, Kentucky. Excuse me, tell them to pump it up and save yourself 15% off of your order. Get you some tendies, some fried chicken, some fries, fried pickles, and the Galactic sauce. It is out of this world. All right, let's get it cracking as we roll through another holiday weekend. I did officially announce today on Twitter, and we talked about it a little bit on the live show last night. But if you haven't heard, we do have a new show that is going to be a YouTube exclusive coming to the network here this week. And it'll be me and an old friend, none other than former UC general manager, director of basketball operations, jack of all trades, Chris Lepore is now in the Bearcat Journal family, and he will be breaking down tape, be it the games that UC has played. You could see something this week like here's why the defense sucked in the first half, and here's why they got better in the second half against Evansville. Things along that line. And then we will also be taking a look at upcoming opponents for the Bearcats as well. So really, really excited. If you've seen like Caskey's Clicker with Kyle Caskey, the former Bengals coach, think something along those lines. A guy that, has been close to the sun in this program and understands how everything works, and breaking down tape for our members. I'm super excited to get this started.
I'm excited that Chris is back involved with the Bearcats in some way, shape, or form. I knew he wasn't going to be gone that long.
Well, I had to coax him out of his exit.
I don't care how it happened. I'm just glad it happened.
I am too. Chris is awesome. He was there last night. He was at the game with his wife and 4 kids, and they were running around like chickens with their heads cut off, chasing children around. So I am excited to get started and add that show to the network. I think it is going to. But
I was just gonna say, you finish your thought. It is going to.
I think it's going to bring great value to the user, because what we'll be able to do, like ultimately in my mind, what we'll be able to do is take a lot of topics that fans are discussing and be able to have a guy that's been an assistant coach for Wes Miller break down the tape and say, this is an example of what is trying to be accomplished. So I think it'll be a great addition to the coverage that we do. So I'm pumped up. I'm fired up, as some would say.
Florida Gulf Coast just upset FAU, by the way.
Yeah. That was back and forth, nip and tuck the entire second half. And Florida Gulf Coast did a good job kind of withstanding a bunch of pushes from FAU to get over the top. So that's a good Florida Gulf Coast team that Cincinnati took care of.
Just wanted to say, I was really excited that I'm here for Cincy Light. I am in Cincinnati, and I just pretty excited that I got my hands on some of these. Sorry, I know you're checking scores on the one screen thing.
Yeah, I was looking. West Virginia got Ohio State to overtime, but it looks like Ohio State is up 5. And with a minute left in overtime, and there was just a technical foul on West Virginia. So it looks like Ohio State is gonna get that one. Let's talk a little bit of basketball real quick. Taking a look at the Big 12 standings, I don't want to do a complete like non-conference deal yet because there's still games to be played tomorrow and Monday and maybe Tuesday before things shut down for a couple days. And then everybody plays on Saturday, Aaron, to open Big 12 play. There are 7 games, 14 teams. There are 7 games on Saturday. How many of those games do you think involve a ranked team?
Well, I can cheat and tell you that I can see, but I think it's what, 4 or 5?
6. All but one.
Okay.
All but one involve a ranked team.
Pretty good.
There are 10 teams that are at worst 10-2 in the league at the end of non-conference play. Houston 13-0, BYU 12-1, Kansas 12-1, Oklahoma 11-1, Cincinnati 11-2, and then Baylor, Iowa State, TCU, Texas Tech, all 10-2. Heading into the league, here's what I do find interesting, Aaron. Only Kansas has more than one ranked win. Kansas is 3-1 against the AP and the USA Today top 25. BYU is 1-0. Oklahoma is 1-1. Nobody else has beaten a team that is currently in the AP or USA Today top 25. Baylor 0-1, Iowa State 0-1, TCU 0-1, Texas 0-2, Kansas State 0-2, UCF, Oklahoma State, West Virginia 0-1.
Are you suggesting that the Big 12 might be overrated?
No, it's just not as battle tested as one might assume at this point. Now, when you get into KenPom and BPI or the net, those things change up a little bit. But it is interesting just going into conference play. Not that there's not a lot of wins over top 25 teams, that there's not a lot of games. Like everybody complained about UC's out of conference schedule, and I get it. It was bad. I'm not saying otherwise.
I mean, but the Gulf Coast win is looking better. The Georgia Tech win immediately looked better. I mean, there's certainly some wins that look better in hindsight than they did at the time.
What I'm saying is everybody in the Big 12, not like there's tougher schedules than UC's, of course, sure, but everybody in the Big 12 has an understanding of what's coming. Unless you're Kansas and you know you're going to be fine either way, it's not a great idea to schedule a bunch of top 25, 30 games going into conference play. It's just not overly smart. You're going to play 14, 15 quad 1 and 2 games when you get into conference play. So that was just something that I found interesting as I was perusing the Big 12 schedules and records as we go into the final week of non-conference play. The other thing I wanted to get to, the conversation has begun again, and we're going to get this every December, at the end of every December now, where people are upset that players opting out, players entering the transfer portal, et cetera, have, quote unquote, Aaron, ruined bowl season. First off, none of you cared about bowl season all that much to begin with. But in light of Georgia beating Florida State like they were a Division II school today, did it end up 63-3? Last I saw I was out to dinner with family. Did it end up 63-3? That's what it was at one point.
Yes. Yep.
Florida State. Georgia had most of their guys. Georgia had most of their guys playing. Florida State was without a lot between the portal and opt-outs and all that. Look, There's nothing really that's going to change this. And look, the portal and NIL did not start this. This started before the portal and NIL were even a thing. Watch or don't. I don't like complaining about it. You didn't care that much about the bowl season to begin with. You know what people are mad about, Aaron? That it impacts their ability to properly wager on these bowl games. Because you don't know what these teams look like without some of their best players, right? Am I wrong?
How much money was lost on Ohio State, Missouri last night? My God.
Right. Because Ohio State was dreadful on offense. Dreadful.
Oh, I made money. I made money right before the half. I took the under on that game, and I made money because that game was terrible to watch.
Yeah, it wasn't any fun until Missouri scored a couple times towards the end to like pull away and put it on ice. I don't know. Like I guess I'm just not. And this is probably a me problem that I like college football, but I'm a college basketball guy more so than a college football guy. I watch a lot of college football. Like, I don't have anything against it. I'm not anti-college football, but I'm not like Dave. You know, Dave is the college football guy. Dave, if you told him, yeah, like we're going to put 18 games on from noon to midnight, and the only reason you can leave the room is to take a piss, Dave would be like, I'm in. I mean, maybe like I don't know. It's just not like my diehard obsession. But where are you at? Like this, like these guys, they're the opt-outs, they're making $1 million decisions. Why would they take a chance and go blow out their ACL in the, pesticide bowl to help their, they're making what, $20,000 at their school or whatever, unless they're, they got a big NIL bag, which if they're an NFL guy, they're probably getting a decent amount of money, but they're getting $100,000 and they're looking at a first round draft pick where they've got, $7 million over 3 years guaranteed. Of course, has a coach ever, been like, I'm good. Yeah, they have a couple of them, but you know what I mean? I'm not leaving. I'm staying because I'm in the Luke Fickell stayed because he was about to play for a championship. Nobody is like, well, the Alamo Bowl. I mean, I'm loyal to my guys. I got to stay and coach the Alamo Bowl before I head off to my new destination to get $9 million a year.
Well, a part of me thinks that the whole bowl system has been watered down by the amount of bowls that we have. That said, it's still exciting seeing some of these, 6-7 win teams in some of the games that they're in because they still get to play for something else. So I still understand why the whole bowl schedule has expanded the way that it has. That all said, until you start compensating these players fairly in ways that they actually deserve, you're going to see these guys opt out. And I don't blame them. And nor should anyone blame them until they are fairly compensated for putting their literal ass on the line. You can't expect them to go out there and give you blood, sweat, and tears just for the school who, by the way, is making a shit ton of money on their backs.
A couple $1 million on a bowl game in a lot of cases.
Right.
And that the kid is not going to get anything from. So I don't know how this would work, but you want to fix it? Tie NIL dollars to bowl games.
Easy peasy, lemon squeezy.
But then everybody would be upset at how many hands are in the cookie jar. But look, you play a snap in this game. You play one snap in this game, you get $20,000, $25,000. Be what? 40 kids?
There's also
kids?
Ways to fix it where if you are worried, if you're worried about paying the players, You can pay the players via the sponsor of the bowl. And
that's what I'm saying.
I know you get mad. You get mad every time I bring this up, but charge more for the commercials, the media dollars to trickle down. Like,
Aaron,
these
the only reason I
companies
get
are
mad,
going to pay because live sports is the only place that people are paying for advertising dollars right now.
But my point being, Aaron, there are rates. It costs this much to broadcast. Like, we're going to have this many viewers. It costs this much money to broadcast. You can't. People aren't going to pay if you just try to charge 40% more than what the ad rates are. Like, those are structured.
Maybe.
Well, the problem is then you
everybody
risk
thought
having a bowl game that nobody advertises.
Everybody thought Elon wasn't going to have advertisers either, and Elon seems to have. Look, I have ads everywhere on X.com. So,
the other thing is, guess what? Do better. Be the Pop-Tarts Bowl. That was the funniest shit. Everybody was talking about it. That wasn't a great game. Like, that wasn't like two big time programs. But guess what? Everybody was talking about the Pop-Tarts Bowl. Everybody was talking about a coach getting mayonnaise dumped on him for the Duke's Mayo Bowl.
I think I read somewhere that the Pop-Tarts Bowl made something like 3.4, 4.3. Those two numbers are sticking out in my brain for some reason. But it was some obscene amount of money just in media dollars from how many people were circulating all of the Pop-Tart shit on social media. Like, everyone was talking about it.
I think the 4.3 was the viewers. That's been the most watched bowl going into today. 4.3 million people watched the Pop-Tarts Bowl. Why? Because at the end of the game, they were going to eat the Pop-Tart. They were going to eat the Pop-Tart.
I thought it was that
they
made Pop-Tart that much just in social media dollars.
It might have been that too, but I saw it was the most watched. It was four something million people watched the Pop-Tarts Bowl, and it was up going into today. We don't know the numbers for today, obviously. Going into today, it was the most watched bowl game. They made a big deal about it for weeks. People were talking about the Pop-Tarts Bowl because they made it clear
I'm here for
going to eat the damn Pop-Tart.
Well, and they only kind of did. The Pop-Tart went into the toaster, and then a different Pop-Tart came out.
Yeah, but they still ate the Pop-Tart. Like, it was a giant Pop-Tart. Right. They ate it. Do you really want to eat a sweaty Pop-Tart? You know how sweaty those people get underneath those things?
Oh, and that dude was dancing.
Yeah, he was getting after it. Like, he earned whatever his salary was for the day to be the Pop-Tart. That guy earned it, or girl, whatever it was. I don't know.
He probably made more than the players playing in the game.
Right? You know what the Pop-Tart didn't do, Aaron? Opt out. That's the nightcap. You're supposed to read the room. I'm supposed to get the screen when I get a funny like that.
I'm on a delay.
That's the nightcap. Well, no show tomorrow night. Everybody have a safe and happy New Year's Eve. We'll be back Monday or Tuesday or sometime. I don't know. We'll see you soon. Brought to you by Galactic Fried Chicken, right here on BearcatJournal.com.
See ya.